up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I know you look damn good, that's for sure. My name is Stephen M. Kiefer. I'm going to be your tour guide on this little journey we're about to go on. And today we're going to get into a couple more of these conspiracy TikToks because I scroll through TikTok so you don't have to. And I'm trying to save some brain cells in the world. All right, before we do that real quick, I hate to bug you and take up too much of your time, but would you please just hit the sub button right there? Just give it a little bump, you know what I mean? A little taparoo, just a little beep boop, beep boop. You know what I mean? Don't violate it, don't hurt it, don't beat it up, don't punch it, don't do rude things to it. Just bump that little puppy. Boop. All right, I would do it for you, bro. Straight up. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, enough the panhandling. Let's get straight up into this bitch.
In the 12th century, two mysterious green children popped up in a village in England. Woolpit, a small village in Suffolk, became the center of a bizarre tale when two children with green skin were found in a wolf pit. Their story is as strange as their complexion. They spoke a language no one could understand, wore clothes made of a strange material, and refused to eat anything but raw beans. The green kids were taken in by a local landowner, Sir Richard de Calne. After a while, they started eating other foods and lost
Hold up. Why was the dude green? Why'd they make the dude green? Hold up.
By a local landowner, Sir Richard de Calne.
I don't think the dude was green.
After a while, they started eating other foods and lost their green hue. But the boy didn't make it. He became sick and passed away, leaving his sister to navigate this strange new world alone. The girl eventually learned English and spilled the beans about their origins. She claimed they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, where everything was green, and it was always twilight. She said they were herding their father's cattle when they heard a loud noise and suddenly found themselves in Woolpit. Some theories posit that the children were extraterrestrials or inhabitants of a subterranean world. A more grounded theory suggests that the children were the offspring of Flemish immigrants who were persecuted, with the children fleeing and eventually ending up in Woolpit.
Why would they be green?
Hue could be explained by malnutrition, specifically chlorosis, a condition caused by a deficient diet. The girl eventually grew up, got married, and lived a relatively normal life, but the mystery of the green children of Woolpit has never been solved. In the 12th century,
I mean, that is crazy. I've heard that story before. I never heard an explanation for it. At least that guy had like the vitamin deficiency, and if all they ate was beans, maybe that's all they ever ate. So I don't know. I always thought they were from another dimension. Feels like that happens all the time, which is a crazy thing to say, but it feels that way. I don't know. Those were good graphics. Whoever did that, little Jimmy Jones.
The mysterious secrets of the Last Supper. The Holy Grail. Hanging on the wall of Santa Maria della Grazia in Milan is a painting entitled The Last Supper. A truly monumental work completed by Leonardo da Vinci in 1498. The painting shows the Last Supper that Jesus had with his 12 disciples or 12 apostles. This scene is a painting of the reaction at the table right after Jesus announced that someone would betray him before sunrise. But it's not just the
That's an actual photo of Jesus, just so we're clear on that. That's actually him.
Religious nature of the painting that makes it famous. That's how Leonardo controlled perspective, movement, and human emotion, made it an instant hit centuries ago. Today, The Last Supper has many conspiracy theories associated with than any other work of art. Leonardo himself had more secrets in his art than most other high Renaissance artists. Some believe that The Last Supper...
Whoa. Maybe they were so secret in other people's art, you didn't even freaking catch it. So how about that, smart guy?
Contains a coded message explaining where the mysterious Holy Grail is. You probably already know this, but it is the same cup that Jesus drank at the Last Supper. It was these cups that were then used to collect his blood at the crucifixion of Joseph of Arimathea. Leonardo is believed to be a member of a top-secret organization called the Priory of Sion, and he allegedly has information about the location of the Holy Grail, and while he can't tell anyone verbally, he can leave a coded message in his artwork to show only to stellar observers. Eyes are on the right track though, to be fair. No one knows the Grail's location. The encrypted message was never found in the array. We don't know if such a message really exists. Now what do you think? Subscribe and follow for more.
Well, if there's a holy grail, it's obviously up in the bottom of the money pit in Canada, right? I think we could all be in agreement on that. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Obviously, that's what people seem to think. And that money pit up there is crazy. Did Jesus even exist? I watched a documentary once called The God That Wasn't There. Shit ripped my mind apart. Like, dude might have never even existed. That's something for you to look into a little bit more. Maybe I'll try to find something on it one of these times and get into her.
It exposes how the elites obtain their power.
I think that in 1933...
Wait, did that start late?
It exposes how the elites obtain their power.
I think that in 1933, when the crash had happened, we'd been through World War I, the whole world was on its knees. It was broken. It needed to get back on its feet. And I think that this syndicate found its opportunity. What they would do is they would feed people, take advantage of weakness, make people dependent upon it.
It exposes how the elites obtain.
Yo, that's crazy. No surprise there. And oddly, there was the Spanish flu. There was World War. My timeline might be messed up, but it was kind of where we're at now. The same thing. In the late teens, 20s, there was a big pandemic. There was a war. And then there was crashing of the whole entire system and the Great Depression and all that. Pretty much all the stuff going on right now. Is that by design? Or is that by coincidence? I don't know. That's quite the quinky dink. Yeah, man. So that's how they came to power once. So now that's how they're going to take even more power.
The Franklin Scandal, which is a book about the original Epstein thing, like the original sex trafficking thing.
What's that?
Well, the Franklin Scandal was a scandal out of the Franklin Credit Union where there was a guy who was embezzling money, and then he was being investigated for that, but they said he has all this money because he's running an interstate pedophile network and he's pandering kids to, people in Washington, D.C. and New York. This was a scandal with real victims who wanted to testify, and then people started dying. The private investigator they hired, his plane broke up. One of the girls that testified was found guilty of perjury and that she was put in solitary confinement. Now, it's not as sexy as like a Pizzagate or something because it happened in the 80s and 90s, but this shows you the blueprint for the government, using marshaling resources to silence people that were victims of this stuff. This is not new. Congressmen, senators, blackmail being used by intelligence agencies, none of it's new.
I like how we're listening to Tim Dillon talk about it. But man, listen, he's talking about the conspiracy of silence. It's a documentary that was about to be released on the BBC, I believe. Some guy just stumbled upon all this stuff. Just like he's saying, this Franklin guy, I can't think of his first name right now. There's a video on my channel about the sound of freedom, and I talk about the conspiracy of silence in there. Oh, it'll blow your mind. We're talking politicians. I think it happened down in Omaha or somewhere down there. Look into it. Oh, dude. Yeah, that got swept under the rug. And there's the Conspiracy of Silence documentary. You can find it on YouTube. It never came out. They were like, we're not releasing this, but it's all real shit. Now, if you Google it, they're going to be like, oh, they got found innocent, I believe, or something crazy. Look into it.
Crop circles are beautiful pieces of artwork, but what if they're blueprints for unlimited energy? After mathematical patterns and electromagnetic diagrams started appearing in crop circles, people began to believe that crop circles are intended to help humans get to the next level with their existence. An example of this was in 2011, when a crop circle blueprint revealed a design for a magnetic flywheel that was invented by Edley Skellnan. Crop circles are beautiful.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't think I ever heard about that, actually. And I'm big into ancient aliens. Just look at my arm. Oh, I guess you can't. But all right, either way. Yeah, they tried to show people making crop circles. Like, look, this is how they faked them. This stuff was all lifting back up and da-da-da. Like, dude, that would take forever. I'd love to know what's going on there, dude. Crazy.
A lot of things just don't make sense about Egypt. For example,
No mummy or hieroglyphs have ever been found in any of the pyramids, so why
I didn't know
then do we
that.
still think they are burial chambers? The ancient Egyptians refer to Egypt as Kemet. It wasn't even called Egypt, and we still can't explain how the pyramids were built. There is evidence that the Sphinx is much older than the ancient Egyptians themselves, and we even have hieroglyphs documenting restoration work on it. The weathering patterns do not match something of 4,500 years old. They go back much further.
Yeah, man. Anyone know how the pyramids were made? Let me know in the comments.
Why do some people think that World War II Germany had super advanced tech? Well, in the grand scheme of things, they did. But there's this conspiracy that I'm not saying is true about a more mystical technology that they had called Die Glocke. Which Die Glocke was this giant bell that some claim existed that was basically anti-gravity technology. It was said to be about 12 feet tall, be highly radioactive, and produce a glowing blue light, and basically be like a Taco Bell flying saucer. And allegedly they had to build this concrete ring called the hinge, which really assembled Stonehenge for some reason, in order to tether it for tests. But at the end of the war, a German officer called Hans Kammler traded this tech to the US military in exchange for his freedom, which German World War II people trading knowledge to the US for freedom was definitely something real that actually happened. Look up Operation Paperclip. But this whole bell thing is claimed to be a hoax by mainstream reviewers, so tell me what you think in the comments and follow for more. Why do some people...
Dude, I'll tell you what I think. That bell right there looking thing, I mean, I totally think it's real. I don't know what they had going on in Germany at that time, but they knew some shit. All those trips to Antarctica, what was he doing there too? But there's a famous UFO wreck, some of you probably know about it, in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, not too far from where I'm at. I've never been there, but I think there's probably still people alive today who's in the 60s that still live there. And something that apparently looked like that wrecked into the woods, and the government came in, immediately locked the place down, took whatever it was out of there. People witnessed this shit, and like UFO researchers went down there not even that long ago, like in the 90s. I'm sure they were there right away, but I mean like on UFO shows, showing them different pictures of things, and they all said it looked exactly like that. So it was a UFO, sure, because it was unidentified, but I'm thinking that, you know, they had some of that Nazi technology over here on Operation Paperclip. And they're like, let's take that bell for a spin through Pennsylvania. The money went down, caught a Steelers game, wrecked that joint on the way out. But that's my thoughts on that. Look into that Kecksburg incident.
Did you know about the German treasure trains during World War II? During the final days of World War II, as Germany's army crumbled, the leaders scrambled to hide their plundered treasures. They loaded precious artifacts, gold, and other loot into heavily armored trains, which then disappeared into the vast labyrinth of tunnels throughout Germany and the occupied territories. A handful of these treasures have been discovered. The most famous is perhaps the Hungarian gold train. Loaded with valuables seized from Hungarian Jews, it was intercepted by Allied forces in Austria. Another infamous one is the Amber Room, a world wonder of its time, once adorned the Catherine Palace of Russia. Dismantled and transported by the Germans, it vanished without a trace. Rumors persist it may be hidden within a yet-to-be-discovered treasure train, but many of these trains remain shrouded in mystery, rumored to be filled with unimaginable wealth. For instance, the German gold train, supposedly hidden in a secret tunnel in Poland, could contain up to 300 tons of gold, precious stones, and artifacts, potentially worth billions. Governments have even pledged to split the profits with whomever might discover these lost train cars. Did you know...
Bro, what? Who's going treasure hunting? We's going treasure hunting. Come on. Dude, how did the poor Jewish people get themselves a bad rap for being stingy, and the Germans were stealing all their gold? What's up with that, bro? Talk about the pot calling the kettle black, man. Not black man. Holy shit, I'm gonna get banned off YouTube. Black comma man. Dude, somebody got all that stuff, guaranteed. Probably the Rothschilds.
Strangest coincidences in history. Born in 1833, Edwin Booth grew up to be one of the most famous actors of his day. Think of him like the Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford of the mid-1800s. Nice. One night in 1864, Edwin Booth was standing on a packed train platform full of people pushing and shoving to purchase tickets. That's when he noticed a young man getting shoved dangerously close to the edge of the platform, in the direction of the tracks. This young man told his father how the crowd almost managed to shove him right off the platform into the narrow gap between the platform and a train that had just begun moving. Luckily, someone grabbed him from behind and yanked him back just as he was about to be crushed.
Pause.
The young man was astounded to turn and realize that the man who saved him was Edwin Booth, the most famous actor in America. The really weird part, though, was that Edwin Booth was the older brother of John Wilkes Booth.
What?
And that young man Edwin saved was none other than Robert Todd Lincoln, the firstborn son of President Abraham Lincoln. It's true. The older brother of John Wilkes Booth once saved the life of the son of the man Booth was destined to assassinate, making this one of the strangest coincidences.
Man, that's a Mandela effect, I swear. Since when? When did that happen? I mean, they said when it happened, but like, and I just never heard about that. If anyone heard about that before, with say over 10 years ago, let me know, please. That's crazy. That is a strange coincidence in history. Not an ironic title, sir. Hard to believe, but I'm taking your word for it, young brother. Well, let's go.
Look how familiar that face is. Now I'm finna tell you who the fuck that really is. Because it's not Jesus. His name is Cesar Borgias.
Hello, my friends. So that is completely incorrect. So this conspiracy theory presents this idea that the depictions of Jesus that we're all familiar with are actually based on Cesare Borgia, who was a patron of...
We already saw a real picture of Jesus a little bit earlier, if you remember, so we know that's not him.
Leonardo da Vinci. Did Leonardo da Vinci ever draw Cesare? Yes, we have one confirmed illustration. And this is it. As you can see, not very much like the depictions of Jesus we're used to. The tradition of depicting Jesus as a European-appearing man with a beard and long brown hair actually goes back centuries to the Romans. This is a 4th century depiction from the Roman catacombs. And this is shortly after from the 5th century. People gotta stop dragging Da Vinci into all these conspiracy theories, man. Let my man rest in peace.
Yeah, let him rest in peace, bro. Well, that guy's quite the debunker. I don't know anything about that, man. I'm going to take this guy's word for it. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. That's a trusting face. This guy, I don't know. I trust this guy. If I had to pick out of the two. All right, let's keep rocking.
What year is it right now?
Now it's 2010.
I thought it was 2018.
No, we're 7 years back.
So I'm actually 19 years old right now.
Yeah, you're
technically.
19. Yeah.
Do you know why you guys are 7 years behind?
So we use different calendar. Basically, we use Gregorian calendar.
Can I see the calendar on your phone? Right now in Ethiopia, it is February 7th, 2010. But on my calendar, it is February 14th, 2018. They don't have 12 months in Ethiopia. How many months do you have?
We have 13 months in a year.
Okay, so what is the 13th month?
The 13th month can be 6 days or 5 days based on every 4 years left. So every month in a year has...
I think that's Joel Hansen, the guy that eats a lot of food on YouTube before the ear gauging. My bad.
30 days.
Okay.
It's not like 28. It's not like 31.
Like February. Okay.
So you have 30 days. And then at the end, the 13th month has 5 or 6 days.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know why the rest of the world doesn't do that.
I don't know.
Every single month in Ethiopia has exactly 30 days, and the 13th month has 5 or 6 days, depending on how many days you guys missed out.
Yeah.
So it really equals 365 days in a year.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that being said, it's still 2010 right now.
Yes, 2010.
So what's going on? If it's 2010, I wouldn't be able to have this camera, and I probably wouldn't have an iPhone. I would be a freshman in college right now. This shit's crazy, man. So when is your New Year's?
September 11th.
September 11th.
Yes.
So when we were going through a tragic time, people in Ethiopia were celebrating.
Yeah, we're rocking.
What year is it right now?
Now it...
Dude, that is absolutely nuts. Another thing I did not know. So if you come from Ethiopia and you come here, are you all of a sudden 7 years older? Like, are people there? You know what I'm saying? Without saying it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're 7 years younger, so I'd be 7 years younger right now. And like, if they come here, the Gregorian calendar, they say there's a couple like centuries missing from a long time ago because of that whole thing. I did something on it before in one of these videos. I like to do something funny to end it off. Here goes the feel-good story of the day.
Replacing my dad's whiskey with soy sauce.
That's a cool whiskey bottle. That guy looks like he beat your fucking ass.
Fucking hate soy sauce, man! I didn't mention this, but I also dumped out his mouthwash and replaced it with hot dog water.
Bro, hot dog water? Yeah, hot dog water. Oh man. All right, that's everything. That's all the videos for now. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for sticking around. If you didn't sub before, go ahead and do that now for me, please. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, how about you just keep it moving, bro? I don't want no beef, you know what I'm saying? There'll be more coming soon, and that's all, folks.